Hello everyone and welcome back to Transfer Review, the show where we look at all the silly season stories going on in this January transfer window. Happy Saturday to everyone. I'm having a good Saturday because I'm joined by my favourite man at Sky Sports, the saint of Sid Cup, the second best looking bloke at Football Daily in my opinion, Sam Obaseki. How are you doing, my friend?
What an intro. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you for that. You know, I feel good as well. I'm going to catch up with all the football this weekend because I went holiday, went to Turkey. It was glorious. I lost my AirPods. That's why I've got these headphones in. So that was the only downer. But apart from that, I'm all good. And you know, I said to you earlier, I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for you. So yeah, I'm happy to be doing Transfer Review with you as well, man.
There we go. Match made in heaven, Sam and Andrew. All right, just quickly before we crack on with the main story, I just want to read out some of the actual transfers that have taken place this week and maybe get a quick opinion from you on your favourite one. So from Arsenal, we've seen Kolasinac. He's gone to Marseille on a free transfer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pablo Mari, he's gone on loan to Udinese. Oscar Rodriguez, he's joined Getafe on loan from Sevilla. They've also picked up Mayoral from Roma, so they're doing well in their battle for survival. I saw that Swansea have picked up Hannes Wolf from Borussia Mönchengladbach on a loan. That is a really interesting move, well worth following over the next 6 months. Yusuf Yazici has joined CSKA Moscow from Lille, and he's been replaced by Hatem Ben Arfa at the grand old age of 34. Sam, Ben Arfa, he's someone the streets will never forget, as they say. Yeah. Can you agree?
Yeah, he is the epitome of that saying, isn't it? Like that one season he had with Newcastle, that one goal as well that I specifically remember. I can't remember who it was against, but he ran from the halfway line and it was just a quality goal. But apart from that, I'd say Arsenal have done good business in getting rid of Kolasinac and Mari because those two players were literally just there. Do you know what I mean? So I think Arteta's done well in getting rid of them. But Ben Arfa, 34, French league, could be a match made in heaven. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to look out for some of his solo goals in that league.
A few years too late, in my opinion. I'm not sure. Also, shout out to Jordan Ibe. He's gone to Adanaspor in Turkey. He was following Sam on Instagram, saw what a good time Sam was having, and thought he'd go and check out Turkey for himself. Good luck to him out there as he looks to rebuild his career. Anyway, let's crack on with the transfer we like. You know, it's subjective. Do we like it? Do we not like it? I'm not too sure. Personally, I like it because I think he's a bit of a nuisance. But it looks like Aubameyang's time in the Premier League might be up. This is a story of him going potentially to Saudi Arabia. Sam, tell us some more.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I think that it's definitely subjective. I think Aubameyang still has a few years left in him at the top level. But yeah, Sky Sports revealed that Saudi Arabian club Al-Nassr have offered to sign Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on loan for the remainder of the season, with other reports suggesting the deal includes a £7 million obligation to buy. And obviously, for Arsenal, it's not confirmed, and they've had a few other offers. I've seen him linked with Juventus, with PSG, Marseille, Sevilla. But I think this deal is definitely something Arsenal are going to be considering, just because of the fact that with the loan, reported loan, Al-Nassr are keen on paying his whole wages, and that is 350k per week. And I don't think any other club in Europe would be keen to do that for a 32-year-old. And obviously, we've spoke about why 350k for Aubameyang at that time didn't make sense. We know Pat was raving about the fact that Arsenal shouldn't have done it, and now I guess he was right because he was stripped of captaincy in December. He hasn't found himself back into the club. Obviously, he's been training by himself. He's not been whenever Arteta's been speaking about him in the press, it doesn't seem like there's been like a real solution. It just seems like it's basically coming to the end of his tenure at Arsenal. He's got 18 months left on his contract, so if they are able to actually get rid of him in January, that will be saving them £25 million on wages alone. So that's going to be very good for Arsenal, especially with the fact that we've seen them linked with players like Vlahovic, and they want to get other strikers in. But if Arsenal accept Al-Nassr's offer, he's going to be joining players like Vincent Aboubakar, Talisca and Funes Mori in their squad. So they've got a few decent ballers. Obviously, Aubameyang, he wasn't really trying to focus on transfers right now, because we know he went to the African Cup of Nations with Gabon, but he had a few issues with his heart. Obviously, he got COVID, and then he never really recovered from it. He went back to the Emirates to do a few tests, and they've now confirmed that there's no problem with him. And he even put on Instagram as well that he's seen all the messages, and he's thankful for everyone sending him love. His heart is in good condition, but that doesn't mean he's going to get back into the Arsenal squad. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next few days, because I don't know if what he's done. Obviously, we've heard a few rumours of not just the case that got him stripped of captaincy. We've seen other cases as well. But are those the only thing that's gone wrong with him, Henry?
Well, it's a really tricky one, because I think you can't look past the fact that when he plays in previous years, he's scored a hell of a lot of goals for them. Yeah. I think at the time it was a club record £56 million transfer when they took him from Borussia Dortmund in 2018, January 2018 that is. He finished the first 6 months with 10 goals in his first 13 Premier League games. I think he set a record for goals per minute during his first short spell with the club. And then he scored 22 times in the league in the next 2 seasons, between 2018 and 2020. Got the Golden Boot in 18-19. He's got runners-up medals in Europa League and the League Cup. Also won the FA Cup in 2020. And in total, he scored 92 times and 163 appearances for the Gunners, which is a pretty solid goal-scoring record, isn't it? I mean, when you can look at some of the high-end transfers that we've seen Arsenal make, actually Aubameyang's one has kind of paid off. But it seems to have all gone slightly wrong when they handed him that 350k per week deal, as you mentioned. Pat van Straten was very against it, and I think he's been proven right in this situation, though I hesitate to give him any more credit. Yes, but yeah, he scored just 15 times in 39 appearances, and this time he only scored 4 in 14 outings in the league. And although he is still producing like 2.9 shots per 90, we're seeing like a bit of a slowdown across most of his statistics. I think his goals per shot are a career low 12%, which really isn't great for a striker. He's lagging behind his expected goals this season. His dribbles have dropped to about 0.5 per 90. That's half from last season and a quarter of what he was producing about 3 seasons ago. And only one of his dribbles has led to a shot this term. And that's really the sight of Aubameyang bursting away with the ball, his late runs. That really was what made a name for himself, because he was one of the best in the world at that for a long period of time. So yeah, I think his actual ability has declined, and maybe it doesn't quite fit with Arteta's system. But the fact is, his disciplinary record is pretty shocking. As we say, stripped of his captaincy. Hasn't seen him for Arsenal since he made a brief sort of substitute appearance in that defeat to Everton at the start of December. And it's been a sort of running theme throughout his career. If we look back at his time with Dortmund, he was suspended 3 times from what I could see, constantly for being late. He was even called idiotic by their keeper Roman Borghi. And he was recently dropped from the North London derby for the same issue, just turning up to matches late. And then he's twice breached COVID protocols. Once was to go get a tattoo, which is just really stupid, quite frankly. And they gave him a special dispensation recently to go collect his mother in France and bring her back to the UK. And he arrived back a day late than he was meant to in that situation. That was the final straw for Arteta, who said enough's enough, and I kind of respect that. He's trying to build a new project, he's trying to set standards, and he's got someone who's not necessarily lived up to those standards throughout his time, irrelevant of how brilliant he's been as a player. But I mean, Sam, will you miss Aubameyang if he does go, or do you think he deserves another chance at Arsenal?
It's never good to see a player like Aubameyang leave in a situation like this, and obviously his energy, even though he plays for Arsenal, like rivals with Chelsea and everything. But that aside, I genuinely feel like the energy he brought to the Premier League was good. He's always happy. He's always on social media. He's quite open with how he feels, and you like seeing that in players. But at the same time, I just think the senior players at Arsenal, I don't know what is wrong with how they are, but we've seen Aubameyang going through this. Xhaka's getting a red card every other game. Partey's come back from the AFCON and he's got a red card in his first appearance back since getting knocked out with Ghana in when they really shouldn't have got knocked out in the way they did. And then Lacazette's he's proven to be a good professional, but as a striker he's not really bagging goals. So it seems like all of the senior players at Arsenal aren't really, they're letting down Arteta. And I think he needs to have a meeting with the senior players and he says, guys, come on. All the young G's, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, they're all showing that they want Arsenal to get to that next stage. They want to make Champions League football. They've just come out of the Carabao Cup, so I don't think, are they in any other competition now? I don't think they are in any other competition.
Just going for the top 4.
Yeah, so top four is the only thing that they're really fighting for right now. So I think if he could get him on side, because I'm not necessarily sure Aubameyang wants to end his career in Saudi Arabia. So if that is the case, he might not leave, and if he has to stay, then he's gonna have to sort out whatever it is with Arteta. He won't be captain, but if he gets them that top 4 spot, I'm sure the Arsenal fans, the Arsenal board, and Arteta will be happy with him.
Yeah, no, I understand. Still, hell of a lot of wages on the books. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm for this transfer. Sam sounds like he's maybe slightly against this transfer. Let us know at home what you think in the comments down below, and we'll move on to the transfer this week we genuinely don't like.
So before we go on to a transfer we don't like, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a video on Euro Football Daily. And to be fair, with this transfer, I'm 50-50 again. You know, we need to start saying if we like it or if we don't like it, because for Newcastle, I think it makes sense. But for you, why don't you like this transfer?
All right, this is the news. It probably might be confirmed by the time this video goes out. That's Diego Carlos to Newcastle United, the Sevilla centre-half. It looks like they've convinced him to swap Andalusia and Sevilla and a genuine shot at the La Liga title, plus European football, for a relegation scrap at St James's Park. Sky Sports believe both parties are confident a deal can be reached for around the £30 million mark. He did play in Sevilla's game midweek against Valencia, but that still doesn't seem to have changed the situation. And it sounds like another Premier League club has potentially matched whatever Newcastle have offered. David Ornstein and Sky Cava saying that was maybe coming out of London somewhere, but it sounds as if he has his heart set on joining Eddie Howe's Toon sort of regeneration. And it might have something to do with the fact he's been offered £100,000 per week reportedly, double his wages in Sevilla. This is where I kind of I just roll my eyes at this little bit one. I can't believe that this is what he wants to do. But at the same time, you can't really blame a 28-year-old for chasing one big paycheck in his career. It's easy to see why he's so highly regarded too. I mean, in fairness, Sevilla was his first great step up. He was playing for a few clubs in Brazil. Then he went to Nantes in France, and then he's been at Sevilla. So, you know what, maybe he's looking at this one big opportunity to really cash in on his ability. I completely get that. It's just with everything that Sevilla have going on this season, I'm really surprised to see it. I mean, he's a really solid defender next to Jules Koundé at the heart of that Sevilla defence, which is an excellent pairing. He's averaged over 4.5 clearances a game in Spain. That's one of the highest rates in the division. While this term he's producing a really respectable 2.9 tackles and interceptions per 90. Bear in mind, Sevilla are one of the more sort of ball-heavy sides in La Liga. And his work has helped Sevilla look like they've got a genuine shot at catching Real Madrid this term. A lot of people might disagree, but under Julian Lopetegui, this is one of the best Los Rojiblancos sides that we've seen in a long time. They've only conceded 14 times in the league this term. That's 4 fewer than leaders Real Madrid, and they've kept 11 clean sheets. And you know, Diego Carlos has been integral to that effort. He's got more minutes than any other player in the Palanganas squad. So they will be pulling their hair out about having to lose him at this sort of critical moment in their season. But I mean, Sam, as you said, you're kind of for it. Fair play to Newcastle, because he would be a great addition to that back line.
Yeah, and I think I saw George Wright say something on Twitter the other day about how as we get older, you kind of understand why players make a move that doesn't really make sense on paper. Like you said, Sevilla are challenging for the title. They've got one of the best defences in the world, and he's a key part to that. But at the same time, like you said, he's 28 years old. Is he going to get another opportunity to see a huge paycheck like this? Maybe not. Is Newcastle probably in their current state? You can say that it's not. It's a step down. But if they are able to get all the clogs that they need to, stay in the Premier League and then become the powerhouse that they want to become with the finances that they have behind them, then it might not necessarily be like a terrible move. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I think with the signings Newcastle have made already in Chris Wood and Kieran Trippier, I think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
If they're able to get Diego Carlos as well, I think that they've covered a few areas that they've needed covering, especially this season, because defensively they have been terrible. They've conceded 43 goals this season, worsened only by Norwich, and their minus 23 goal difference could be hugely significant by the end of the season. We've seen how tight it is down there, so that could be very important by the end of May. And also we're talking about the centre backs that they have. They've got Jamaal Lascelles, who's basically been ever present in their back line, and I'm not gonna lie, he's not the worst, but in terms of trying to keep you up in the league, in such a competitive league, I don't think he fills the Newcastle fans with that much confidence. He's played over 1,400 minutes, and he's partners with either Kieran Clark, Fabian Schar, Emil Kraft, or Federico Fernandez, who also share the duties. But in terms of passing out from the back, and we know Eddie Howe wants to add that to his team, all of them don't have anything above 79% pass accuracy, while only Kraft and Clark average over one tackle per game. And like we know already, Eddie Howe, in the stints that he's had in the Premier League before, his defences haven't been that great. But I feel with this defence, it was a match made. I was gonna say a match made in hell, but yeah, it wasn't. It's not a great partnership. So I think with Diego Carlos, I think it makes a lot of sense for them to, for them to be linked with him and for them to be signing him. That's why I said I'm not really sure why it's in this part, but I can understand from if you're a Sevilla fan or if you're just a fan for players just staying loyal to certain clubs. But let me reel off a few more stats so you can understand why I think this makes sense for Newcastle. Lascelles, in particular, he ranks among the worst 10% of centre-backs in Europe for tackles and interceptions per 90, while his tackle success rate stands at just over 50%. And for a defender,
it's not good enough.
It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And I think Newcastle have definitely seen that. They've definitely seen that that's an area that they want to improve. They've brought in Kieran Trippier, who's obviously going to add experience, going to add deliveries for the likes of Chris Wood in that box. And we know that they're linked with getting another central midfielder. They want to add more people to their backline. They don't want just Diego Carlos, but I think that's definitely a start. So I just think with all those stats and everything that we've said about Diego Carlos and the ability that he has, yes, we can say that he's probably going to be spending his prime years playing for Newcastle. But if they are able to stay in the Premier League, I think it's a good signing. I honestly do.
Yeah, I you know what? I agree with you. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, so that's kind of why this annoys me a little bit. But I genuinely think Newcastle, if they can get someone like Lingard in, who they're looking at over a 6-month loan deal, the reports that United want about £3.5 million to make that happen. Newcastle be willing to pay his sort of monster wages as well. I think if they can get these kind of players through the door, then they do have a genuine shot at staying up. I don't look at Watford, Norwich, or Burnley and see why Newcastle couldn't sort of put them over the edge down the line. They haven't been beating the teams they need to recently, a lot of draws. But yeah, defence really is the place that they have to start shoring up, because they've been way too easy to play against at times this season. They're sort of positionally all over the shop, being dragged out, etc. And I think just someone like Diego Carlos, with that serious head of experience, playing against top-level defenders week in, week out in European competition, really could be the man that they need. But I mean, Sam, just quick answer. Do you think Newcastle can stay up?
Yeah, I do. I think with the players that they're linked with, the fact that they've obviously been linked with quite a few players this window, like we would expect, and they've seen a few no's. But some of the players that they've got in, and I honestly think Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood are good signings. They get Diego Carlos in, they get Lingard in as well, getting a few players in and around that area, and players that aren't not only just good players but experienced players in the Premier League that also aren't trying to have that relegation clause, because I know that was something that they were worried about, a lot of players trying to have relegation clauses in their contract. If they get people that actually buy into the mission that Eddie Howe and their owners are on, then I think it could genuinely be not easy, because we know it's always going to be difficult to stay up, especially in the position that they're in now. But I think they will comfortably be outside of that top bottom three.
Love that. Quick answer. You get a few sentences. That's some Obasaki treatment. Nice one. All right. Thank you everyone at home for watching Transfer Review this week. Let us know what your favourite stories are. Let us know what you think of Aubameyang and Newcastle's business. There are endless transfer rumours coming out of St James's Park. Sam, what are you working on Snapchat this weekend?
Actually talking about the Aubameyang move to Saudi Arabia, but there's a few other clubs that are interested in him from that same league. So yeah, if you want to find out any more about that, Arsenal fans, if you're upset, come and chat to me on Snapchat, because I can fill you in with some more information.
Class. All right, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and all that stuff, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Bye bye.
Peace.